Hello to all of my world travelers out there. This video is here to help you stop making everyone in Japan feel uncomfortable when you're there, and believe it or not, there's quite the list of things you need to do and not do to fit into their orderly and well-mannered culture. And as a bonus, I'll teach you what you've always wanted to know. When do you need to take off your shoes? Let's get stuck in. Being too loud. You should definitely hear this entire list so you can get along better with the locals, but if anything, just know that their number one thing against foreigners is that they're just too dang loud. So before you and the boys come cruising up, blasting music, and screaming out the window of your 67 Mustang, just know that Japanese people are usually soft speakers and don't like drawing unnecessary attention. But foreigners tend to break this custom after they learn they could drink cocktails in public. Even though it's illegal, play it cool and don't make a scene. And lastly, use your indoor voices when you're on the train. That's another thing that locals admit is a little annoying sometimes, especially when they're talking loudly on the phone, which is something that is frowned upon on the train. Actually, it's best just to never really talk on the phone in public unless it's in a hushed tone and kept to yourself. Alright, do you get it? Keep it down. Not speaking Japanese. If you want to get on their good side though, try speaking a little Japanese to them, even if you sound like a buffoon. Not everyone in Japan is perfect at English, so they sometimes feel a little uncomfortable trying to talk to you, but they are trying. Show that you appreciate them by using some Japanese phrases that you took the time to learn. It really goes a long way. Smell harassment. Here's a new one for you. Have you ever been smell harassed? No. Not sniffing someone, I mean wearing too much perfume or cologne. While it may be normal in Western culture to wear fruity or musky deodorants and colognes to make a good impression, Japan doesn't buy into that. They like to stay fresh and neutral, especially at work and school. Little fun fact, some high-end sushi restaurants won't let you in if they can smell you because the scent will tarnish the delicate flavors of the sushi. Keep your smell to yourself. Queuing system. The next one is a really important thing to know. Japan is all about the queuing system, and any chance they get, they jump in a single file line and wait their turn. Next time you see an elevator, bus, train, or even an escalator in Japan, you'll see lines forming. Oh, and P.S. stay on the left on elevators. I don't really know why, but just do it. And of course, wait for people to get off of the bus or whatever before you get on. That's common sense. Getting other people sick. You hate getting sick, right? Japan does even more, so don't get them sick. If you have to leave the house, make sure you have a mask on, and when you need to blow your nose, it's not a public event there. Go to the bathroom for it. And back to the mask thing, wear one on the train whenever you're sick or not. It's not a law, but it's definitely a custom. Being overly critical. I need to speak to a manager. May be part of some cultures, but not Japan's. Being critical and complaining about things disturbs the peace and harmony that Japan values. Their confrontations are usually avoided. There's a lot less Karens complaining that their food is taking too long to cook. Slow down and enjoy life with them. You won't regret it. Invading personal space. Japan also differs from Western culture when it comes to personal space. They don't like being shoulder to shoulder with sweaty foreigners or really anyone, so don't go breathing down someone's neck while on a train, and even more importantly, don't touch people without their permission. So if you're a hugger or quick to throw out a high five to a stranger, just know that it's not going to be received very well. Let people enjoy their personal bubble. Don't pour your own drink. Here's a fun one. Try to avoid filling your own drink when you're socializing with people. Instead, keep an eye out for when your friends' drinks are low and then refill them all. Not sure why, but use two hands. If you know why, please comment. After everyone is topped off, remember not to fill your own cup. Put the bottle of sake down and let one of your friends fill your own drink up. Japanese people won't really be offended if you don't follow the custom, but if you don't give them the opportunity to fill your cup, then they might be afraid that you think they aren't being polite and attentive enough. Cheers, my friends. Breaking chopstick etiquette. Foreigners tend to break some Japanese customs when they're using or trying to use chopsticks. There's actually a few different rules to them. You should already know not to play with your food, but you also shouldn't play with your chopsticks, like rubbing them together to start a fire. And unless you're at a funeral performing a specific ritual, don't stick your chopsticks vertically into your bowl. There will probably be a chopstick holder next to the plate if they get too heavy for you during dinner. Also, when you're sharing a platter of food, use your chopsticks to put the food on your plate first rather than stuffing it in your mouth. And lastly, don't pass food to someone with your chopsticks. Don't pour soy sauce right on food. Keeping with the food topic, there's a little bit of soy sauce etiquette, and I know what you're thinking right now, they are way too picky with how to do things. But just go along with it, the Japanese culture is so beautiful. So with this, it's not proper to pour the soy sauce directly into your food. Instead, you pour some into a small dipping cup and then dip your food into that. You might even like that method better. Eating too loud. Another thing foreigners do that's too loud is the way that they eat. Locals have pointed out how loud some foreigners eat their food, which is just not the way things are done in Japan. They're graceful eaters and don't want to watch you mowing down on your food like a stray dog. Take time to enjoy your delicious Japanese meal. Tipping is not proper. This one might bring a smile to some of my budget-friendly travelers. In Japan, tipping is not welcomed, and it might even offend someone. They've built the tip into the total bill so you can keep your calculator in your pocket. In fact, if you leave a couple coins behind, the worker will probably come running after you saying you forgot your change. It's a very charming country. Eating or drinking on the go. If you're always running late, then this one might be tough for you. In Japan, they don't really eat or drink when they're on the go, whether they're walking down the road or riding the bus. It's pretty normal for someone to buy a drink from a vending machine, drink it standing next to the machine, then throw away the empty bottle in a trash can right next to it. And if you don't believe me, then go to the city of Kamakura outside Tokyo and read all of the signs that ask tourists to not eat while walking. They want to encourage people to slow down and enjoy their food, as you should. It also helps cut down the mess. You'll notice that there isn't a lot of trash on the streets. That's just another thing Japan does so much better than a lot of other places. So don't litter. Wearing shoes indoors. And finally, we're going to break down all the rules for when you should remove your dirty shoes at the door. Most places will have a little space that separates the outside from the inside, which is where you will be taking off your outside shoes and possibly slipping on inside shoes if they're made available to you. Expect to do this at ryokans, hospitals, schools, some temples and shrines, and definitely in restaurants where you sit on tatami mats. Shoes damage them, and do the same thing whenever you visit someone's house. Stay with me though, there's more slipper changes to be discussed. In a lot of places, you'll need to change into a different pair of slippers to wear to the bathroom. Then when you leave, you'll change back to the original pair of slippers so that you don't track anything out of the bathroom. And since you'll be changing slippers or walking around shoeless, do yourself a favor and make sure your socks are fresh and have no pesky holes. So if you want to make a great impression and build good relationships with the locals of Japan, take this list seriously. Feel free to go back and watch it again so you don't forget anything. All you need to do for us is click the thumbs up button if you're glad we shared this with you and subscribe to our page so we can be your inside scoop. See us on the next video!